after reading through the NDC constitution, I don't know, hey, that's not a bad group, you know. So a friend of mine, whilst I was in the US, there was one guy, Humphrey Mensah, E.T. Mensah's son.
My mate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're friends, and he invited me to a couple of the...
He passed on.
Yes.
We buried him in 2020.
That's
just
right.
before COVID.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You know, so...
Booger.
Yes. So I visited some of their meet about twice in DC. So when I came, then he came around, and he said, "Oh, Charlie, this thing go feed one." And then the NDC in the neighborhood, a few of them contacted me in 2018. Said, "No, the way you are doing things, I think you can be of help to us." And so that was when now I read the Constitution. And I thought it was very simple enough, very humane. So then primaries came, 2019. I stood, and luckily I won.
First time?
First time.
Whoa.
So I stood with one gentleman, PDA.
Yeah.
Prince, yeah.
Yes.
So after I won, now whether you like it or not, you're on the track. So we went into the 2020. So with the 2020 elections, now looking back, I didn't know anything.
Right.
You know, it's like you just follow that. So I think after the 2021, got a better understanding of what one had got himself into. So then now you really have to put work into it. And that's what has brought us here.
But that constituency has never been won by the NDC from 96. From 1996.
Yes.
It's never been won by the NDC.
When it used to be the entire South, Ablekuma South,
Yes.
Freights won it at a point.
Yes.
And then in 2012, they
became the West.
And that's from where NDC has never won. Yes.
Okay. Now, and the data, anytime you look at the stats, it looks like it's a strong NPP constituency.
Yeah.
Anybody just looking at the data would say that, look, if I run, it's just because I probably want to run as MP. If my party wins the presidential, I'll get the opportunity of becoming DC or MC, but not. It's a long shot if I want to become MP. What made you believe that you could look at all those numbers and believe that it was possible to turn it around?
One, if you look at the demographic of the area,
right,
you realize that from exhibition heading towards Sahara into Runabout, Zodiac, was predominantly Akans.
Right.
You know, and then the southern part was more Ghana and the Evers.
Towards the coast.
Towards the coast. Yeah. But then what I realized was that because in the past we had Victoria Hammer come and then Mrs. Dinah Chum, they were both females. And then I came in as a male, which now would change the dynamics. So what I started doing was going into where the accounts were and selling myself as one of them. And and then I understood why it had become more tilted towards MPP. Because when you look at the history, when Dansoan started, General Jampon had asked the Kwao people, the Ashanti, to come into the estates, which they did. And then Rawlings came, and then the coup happened. And then most of them were the ones who lost their money, lost their businesses. So it was engraved in the children that PNDC, NDC
messed us up.
I remember one guy down the street in Maine, Dansoman Sahara Street. He almost fought me that NDC was the reason why he didn't go to the university, because the mother's business at Mokola was. So then you realize where they were coming from. But now for us, most of us, our parents who had that ideology have passed on or they've aged. So I took advantage of that to let them know. Yeah, my father was a Khan. My dad was arrested during that period. But the fact is that now we are old.
Current realities.
How do we deal with Dansoman? And I focused my conversation mainly on Dansoman. The biggest estates, do we really have what it deserves for us to be proud of? And so that's how that aspect of conversation started. And the response over time, you realize that it wasn't that bad. Then also I realized that many people had, the original owners, most of them had moved out. So now there were new people who had come in who are not of that kind of thinking. So I saw it to be open, you know, and all I had to do, work more on the side that tilts towards NDC, and then make people understand, no, we can do it together, you know. So for me, it looked, and then also, to be honest, I think in 2019, my advisors or my team sat and said, how do we market you? Strong member of parliament, a minister standing against it. Then we looked at our personalities. Then we looked at the guy I went to primaries with, who also have similar. So then I have to be the opposite of both. Keep the calm demeanor and let people see the contrast, and then let people make their decisions. So these were some of the things that made me feel, but when we do what we see, it was possible for us to be able to win.
Your victory, has it sunk in now? Are you on ground reality, or you're still dreaming? You know, there's this gospel song, Diana or something.
I'm not sure whether it's sunk in or not, because after the declaration, we took a walk through town to thank people, and then you've spoken about the issues, but then now you walk through Glefe, you see the rubbish on your left, you look at the Jatakbo silt, and then you're like, wow, you know, wow. So now your mind...
So the enormity of the responsibility. Okay.
You know, but then you still come out and say that we're going to make it happen. You understand? So yesterday I had the privilege of stopping by Parliament for a brief meeting, and then I was like, hey, so we are here. we are here. So in as much as it's kind of settled in, also trying to bring your mind to how to now get it all done also comes to your mind. And so then it's fulfilling though, but then yet still it's also energizes you to really set up and start preparing to do what you have to do. So even since the declaration, we've not slept. We're still putting plans together, what has to do, who to do what, just for the work. So it's an interesting feeling. It's not like one is overly excited, but one is proud that and humbled also that God has given one the privilege to also come and do something, you know, because for us as ministers, and I believe anytime or anywhere you find yourself.
When is it ministers? You mean ministers of the gospel?
Ministers of the gospel, yeah, ministers of the gospel. You know, the standards are always higher for you, you know, because people expect more. And so then it's something you have to deal with. So basically, we are ready. We are ready, and I believe with the grace, and we, you know, like as you were saying, I believe that you don't change because of circumstances. You know, a pastor of mine told me, you can go as high you can, but it's the character that can keep you there. So the prayer is that I remain who I am. Let your views be heard, and do what is right, because it's not by strength. And so long as you're able to do that, the power that brought you will guide you. You know, so that's what I look for.
Okay.